Rocket Launcher.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a different video from what you're normally going to see from me. Normally, from me, you're going to see a lot of streaming of games. I'm on a Switch kick right now, so I've been doing Mario Kart. I've been doing Splatoon 2, a little bit of Zelda, a lot of ARMS, and just hanging out and playing. And I do all sorts of gaming stuff, but I've had some opinions as of late that I wanted to get out and I wanted to talk about. And the thing is, I really wanted to do it in a way where I could interact with everybody, because that's just what I like to do. So I'm here on YouTube and on Twitch, and I'm going to do a little video about somebody named Angry Joe, which I know many of you have heard of who Angry Joe is. If you have, has anybody heard of Angry Joe here in the stream? I imagine you have. Angry Joe is a YouTube content creator who got to his popularity and his fame because of what was known as the Angry Joe Show, or the Angry Reviews, where it really fueled him at first. And I'm a soldier. So the thing was, he came in, he had this really great show, and started to get popular. And I knew him, I've been on YouTube since about 2006. And I actually got in contact with him around 2009 or so, when the channel Awesome was going to do a gaming channel, like a primarily gaming channel that was called Blistered Thumbs. They approached us. Rocket Launcher was formerly known as Substance TV. That was the old name we were before we reformed into this group. And we were a part of Blistered Thumbs gaming content. So from time to time we would be on calls like Skype with Joe. He was the leader of their channel Awesome, Blistered Thumbs gaming organization. So everybody who had gaming contact reported to Angry Joe. So every once and again I talked to him. I had email exchanges, and he seemed like a really cool guy. I have never had any issues with him on that site. And then he continued from that site to just explode into popularity to where he is now. And he's a fairly well-known icon in the online YouTube gaming community. So this big intro, all to say that he is someone who has built up a lot of credibility over the past, I'd say, 9 years he's been doing it. And I got a lot of respect for it. I've been doing it for 11 years. So, you know, somebody doing it 9 years and rocking it out like he is, that's great. You know, that's the hope for any of us to do something like that. But, hey, how are you, cats? Go for me. How you doing? What's wrong? Nothing. We're talking here about the Angry Joe Show. But anyway, so as he got into popularity, some of his content started to change. And you would notice a shift from his reviews to more vlogs and side things, and he would get into ideas about some movies he was watching, and more just vlogging stuff about his life, which was great. You know, it opened up the content a little bit. It meant for more regular content, which is always great on a channel like that. With the Angry Reviews, they take so long to make, and it's difficult to do that consistently where people are, you know, nipping at the bit to get another piece of content from you. What's up, everybody? Hey, Moto. So because of that, I get where he's coming from totally for everything he's done. So after he switched all of his content, it started to become apparent that the Angry Reviews were kind of changing from their regular schedule to really not happening as much as they used to. And people saw the new content, which now included movie reviews, where they sat down and Joe would talk with his friends, but he would really take up maybe about 80% of the camera time. And that's okay. They did focus on Angry Joe, and that's fine. But I thought it was not as useful with a bunch of other people. It should have just been Joe. And I like Other Joe, by the way. Other Joe, I think, has got some comedic value. He's really funny. Which brings me to another point. My other point with Angry Joe is that ever since the Angry Reviews have included a lot more, I guess what you could call sketch moments, okay? What would come from just a small gag, you know, those small 1 or 2 second gags you see in a video, turns into a bit, which is something longer. It's almost, it can be a minute or a couple minutes if need be. And a lot of his reviews started to do that. It started to do these like long drawn out intros and long drawn out battle sequences. And although I didn't mind it, I didn't think it added any more to it, in my opinion. I actually would have liked to see that maybe developed into a separate thing, but in the review, it almost, I think, slowed it down. But that's just my opinion. So everything comes to a head about 3 weeks ago when Joe releases a video saying he's going to go on a little vacation. He's saying, hey, we've been doing this for 9 years. Things have been really busy. I got to take a break for a couple months. We'll see you then. Thanks for everything. And explain a few things, what they're going to try to do. 2-month wait. People freak out about it. And, okay, there were some people who were being some twat waffles and were being jerks about some comments. In the comment sections of the YouTube video, right? There were also some very valid complaints. Some of them well phrased, and some of them a little more stronger phrased. And that's okay. I mean, you're a guy who does a show called The Angry Joe Show, where you review games, game developers, game publishers, and even people in the gaming media, such as Jeff Keighley. I mean, that's somebody you criticized really hard in about 2010. So when someone criticizes you and it comes off as hard, it's something that you need to be able to take in return when your fans do it. And a lot of it was true. A lot of them waged the same complaints that others in the community had. And it wasn't just a bunch of trolls. It wasn't just all of a sudden a bunch of people wanted to see Joe fail. It was people who were genuinely disappointed in what they felt was not only a declining channel in quality, but now getting even less. And for these next 2 months, there's going to be nothing. So they're frustrated, naturally. So I think there's some valid complaints. Well, Joe decided that because he didn't like the complaints on YouTube, he would turn off the comments and ratings on his video. For what ended up being a month. Okay? It didn't end up being like the whole time. And he made a video about it. And in the video, he even highlighted a 2014 tweet in which he said, I will never disable comments or likes. I don't mind going through a few people who are bitching just to get to the good comments. So they were disabled, and then that made people even more ticked off. And so he got even more comments on Twitter. And what ended up happening was I kind of got wrangled up in some of this on accident. I don't know what I was going through, but I was following Angry Joe. I was following the situation, and I saw one of Angry Joe's tweets. And I'll actually, hold on. Let me see if I can check the actual tweet if I have it here. Right, so I had a post that said, oh, how times have changed. And it's the one that says, no, I will never turn off comments. To which, I had a lot of likes. But before that, so the original comment I posted to Joe was, as a critic, you of anyone should be open to criticism. Silencing your viewership isn't the answer. I want to talk about that point first and foremost, okay? I said it then and I mean it now. Silencing your viewership is not the answer, okay? The people who want to get a rise out of you, the people who want to troll you, okay? This is what they want. They want your reaction. They want your rage and your anger. They want you to push back at them because that just gives them more fuel. And I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. So I sent that to him, and I got a lot of response from people back and forth. And a lot of people, there were a lot of people who agreed, but there were a lot of people who weren't happy. And I remember going through it because I figured that for me, you're responsible for how you react to people. And the whole, one of the defenses is, well, people were being mean to you and people were saying mean things. And it's like, well, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what people say to you, what they do. It's your job to handle your emotions and be mature about it. That's all it is. That's, again, the trolls want. They want to get a rise out of you. Don't give it to them. Just don't give it to them. And, really, Joe, for the 99%, I'm kind of on your side on this. Because I don't want to see you dealing with people like this or having to worry about it. At the end of the day, it's your channel. You can do with it what you want to do. And here's the moral of the story. Yes, you can do with your channel what you want to do. But that doesn't then mean you can control how your fans react to that. Like, if I decided on this channel that I've been doing now for 11 years, I didn't want to do gaming anymore at all. Not gaming whatsoever. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to dedicate this channel to My Little Pony. Just My Little Pony cosplay. This is a My Little Pony cosplay channel. Rocket Launcher, the My Pony cosplay channel. Yeah. Well, you know, I'd probably lose some subscribers. Quite a few subscribers. Now, I may gain some. I don't know. But I'm definitely going to lose some subscribers because that's a big switch. So for me, you know, Joe, if you're going to switch your content over, right, and it's going to be more vlogs, and it's going to be more movie reviews, and it's going to be more informal, and your angry reviews are going to be less consistent, more obsessed about costumes, more obsessed about gags, more obsessed about just these, what I see as silly little things. And that's just my opinion, Joe, just my opinion. But this is the opinion of a lot of your dissenters. We don't want to see you fail, Joe. It's the last thing we want to see. We want to see you either do better or be honest with yourself about what you want the channel to be and what kind of workload you want. Because I feel for you. As a content creator myself, you only have so much energy in a day to do something. Besides, you also do streaming. A Brony lawn chair. Yeah, that'd be weird. Besides, I know you've got a lot of other things you're doing, plus you're living a life. You know, I know you've been in relationships in the past, you've had girlfriends over, so I know you have a life outside of this. And that's why I don't really want to, at the end of the day, judge you too hardly. Because you got to be happy, you know, and, you know, let's just say you lose 300,000 subscribers. Like, that's a terrible thing. 300,000 subscribers would be like a big blow, you know, the 1.7 million. You're still doing great, you know, but it's like, it's 1.7. There's still an up road batter back to like the 2 million you had. But the people you keep are going to be a lot more faithful and loyal to you. So, I don't know. I would just keep doing you. Focus on what you think is important and move forward. So, that's all I really had to say. I just had to interact with the chat too because I wanted to get everybody else's opinions on this whole Angry Joe situation because I think it's important for us as content creators to look at what happens to other people. And Angry Joe is, like I said, one of those big icons in the YouTube gaming scene.